So I see this endlessly. I played years of poker, and I've played many people, including the head pros. I've seen pros come and go, and I've played amateurs. And there's several things in common that I've seen. One, this belief in this mythology that if you fix a little thing in your poker game, you're going to profit massively. That's not the truth. The truth, honestly, is if you have millions of dollars already, you'll do well at poker because you can just hammer people to death until you fluke their bankroll out of them. But let's skip that. Let's pretend you're Joe Average. One thing I've noticed about most poker players is 90% of them failed math class, and 90% of them failed to learn the math of this game. And the math is everything. You can forget about bluffing. At lower stakes, which you're probably most people are playing, and I include 2-5 and even 5-10 to a certain degree is lower stakes, bluffing plays very little role. You're really just trying to get your opponent to have an unfoldable hand against your nut hand. And even then, you're going to lose. Let's say you get it in with ace-ace against any other pair. You're 80%. But that means 1 in 5 times you're going to lose. That means 4 in 5 times. Let's say the pot's 500. 4 times you're going to win 500, so that's 2,000. 1 time you're going to lose 500, so that's negative 500, for a net of 1,500. And this is if you get everybody all in over and over. Let's say you pretend you had ace-ace dealt you over and over again. This negative 500, it doesn't happen as 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 you lose, 1, 2, 3, 4 you win, 1 you lose. This here can happen 20 times in a row. So if you don't have the money in your pocket to handle that, you're not going to win at poker no matter how many aces you get dealt. The record I've seen personally where I've lost a favorite is 22 times in a row, where I was a 76% favorite, sometimes up to a 90% favorite in a row. So you have to have a massive bankroll. So that's the number one. But number two is your profit's tiny. Your profit's tiny. I'll give you an example. Here's the hands most people want to play. If you go all in pre-flop with this against that, you're about a 52% favorite. That's what you want, really. Favorite. If you go all in with this against those, you're about a 48% favorite. And the thing is, people play this the same way they play that. So that means, and especially with this, if you're up against ace-ace, you're not a 48% favorite. Against king-king, you're only a 30% favorite. So there's two hands there where you're crushed. But everybody I see plays this like it's 10-10, jack-jack, queen-queen, king-king, or ace-ace. That means you're entering into this situation or this situation over and over again wherever you're holding these cards, which means you're handing your money back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You are not winning. And another thing that people fail to realize, ace-king is only 48% if you see all 5 cards. If you see 3 cards, the flop only and fold, you're only talking about something like a 30% favorite against any pair. So that means really the only way to see 5 cards is to get it all in, which is why most people just shove it, because they need to see 5 cards. Yet everybody, I'd say 99% of the people I know play like this, which means you're never going to win a poker. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Then add to the fact that you can have set, bottom set, and someone's going to overset you a fair amount of time. Again, a bankroll issue. You can have a king high flush, and you're going to run into the ace high flush a fair amount of time. And I'm not saying fold, 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 and wait for the nuts, because people won't call your bet if they see you folding 500 times. But if you're going to play, that's probably the only way you're going to be minorly profitable. Now, in addition to that, the stakes. You're playing 1-2 and $200, you're going to make maybe $10 an hour. And that's playing perfectly. And that's because people aren't going to call you as much if you're playing perfectly. $500, 500, maybe. You'd think it'd be double, like 25, but it's not, because the skill goes higher as you go up. Maybe 50, maybe 20. And that's because you're going to have king-king and ace-ace occasionally. You're going to make mistakes. You're not going to be able to fold king-king against ace-ace. As you hit into these ranges of stakes, even this one, you're not going to make, if you're playing perfectly, maybe $30 an hour. Maybe. That's if you're never getting tired, never getting drunk, never making a mistake. Forget it. It just doesn't happen. It's only when you hit these stakes that you can maybe make an okay profit, but even then it's a hobby, because you're not going to find a game that's 40 hours a week, 50 hours a week. And believe me, I've done the 40 hours, 50 hours, 60-hour grind, and it's going to kill you. You're going to die of boredom. It's a boring lifestyle. So ignore all this bullshit about you're going to get rich quick. It does not exist in life at all. All this is bullshit. Stop believing it. Here's the only way you can get rich. Okay, I have an extra 100 a week. I'm going to save it. And every week I'm going to save 100. So that means, or every month, let's say, I'm going to save 100. So that means I'm going to have 1,200 at the end of the month. 10 years, 12,000. 20 years, 24,000. And you still might say, well, that's not much. But presumably as your salaries go up and as you start saving more and more money, you're going to be able to, or make more and more money, you're going to save more. And additional, if you invest this in a simple index fund, it's going to grow pretty quickly. And guess what? The payoff is until year 30, because compound interest doesn't really get hit till then. And before you say, well, that's the long haul, that's a bull, that I'm not doing that. There's no get rich quick scheme. There's no lottery ticket. There's no, maybe start your own business is what I would say is your best way, or as a side business. Maybe start 3 businesses, because breaking into any business requires an initial investment. I've run a few companies. I've helped start a cleaning company, and the initial startup was about 20 grand. That's for equipment and promotion to get your clients. And in this case, you needed about 20 regular clients to make 35 or 30,000 a year, which means you need 40 clients, and not to make 60,000, doesn't double, 50,000, because you got to hire and pay staff now. So to get these clients in a very competitive industry, you have to have an initial seed amount. This is true for all businesses. If you're going to go into a food business, expect to fail. It's the biggest failing business in the world. Go into a business, and here's the secret to everything. 1, staff is the only way you're going to make a fortune. And 2, go into a business that nobody wants to do. People will pay more to do a task they definitely don't want to do. People don't like to clean. They don't like to change their oil. They don't like to change their tires. They don't like to do body work. All the things that will pay more money. Junk removal. They don't like to do. Find a business or a service that nobody wants to do. You can charge more. But ultimately, the only way you're going to make a lot of money is staff. Forget all this glory and fame, and you think it's luxurious and there's hot women and all that stuff. Play it on the side. You cannot win at poker. He's right, 99% of poker players can't win, but he doesn't have the answer. The truth is 99% of poker players will always lose. That 1%, they don't look healthy. Go look at videos of the top players. They don't look healthy. Tom Dwan looks like he's 70.